Hello everyone, I'm Rebecca Keppel. I'm super excited to be back on ThermOWeb's YouTube channel today, sharing a technique that I am calling spotlight foiling. So we're going to create shaped spotlights of foil on A2 toner card fronts. These A2 toner card fronts are from the Brutus Monroe Mixables. This is from the Really Radiant pack, and I have two different shape dies that are perfect for an A2 size card front. One is the Nesting Hearts largest heart from Waffle Flower's Nesting Hearts dies, and the other is the largest star from the Waffle Flower Nesting Stars dies. So I am going to take the star die and cut it out of some Brutus Monroe Sketchy Silver toner sheet, and I wrapped it in some parchment paper just because I didn't want the underside of the foil sheet to get messed up going through my die cut machine. So I am just going to put it in a little parchment paper sandwich. It will cut through that parchment paper. I'm not worried about that. I just want to make sure that the underside of the foil stays clean, doesn't get all scratched up or anything like that. So once I run that through my die cut machine, I have a die cut piece of silver foil. So I'll set that aside and then I'll work on the heart. I'm going to cut that out of Flamingo pink foil, and then it's time to add these spotlights to our toner card fronts. There's a couple ways to do this. The first way is to just run that shaped foil through. The other way is to put the shaped foil down and then put another color of foil on top. So you can see here, this one I just had the die cut heart. Peel that off and you see that I have a heart foil shape in the middle of my card front. I decided I do want the background another color, so I'm going to run the sketchy silver over that. For this one, I ran both at the same time. Whatever is touching the toner is what's going to transfer. So you can see here where I peeled off that star, I have a star of silver foil, and the rest of it is the berry purple. For this one, the only silver that's going to transfer is where there was toner, and there was not any toner left on the heart shape. So you can do it either way. You can run them at the same time, or you can run them separately, or you can just run the shape and keep the rest of it black and white. I did mat these onto some different colors of cardstock. So the berry purple numbers I have matted on some silver mirror cardstock, and the heart shape I do mat onto some fuchsia cardstock from the Stamp Market. So I did cut these panels down to 4 by 5.5 so that they were just matted on the sides. Once these were all ready, I needed to add some sentiments. So the first sentiment I'm going to do is the Oversized Smile from Waffle Flower, and I cut out the shadow in VELLUM, and I'm going to use some Easy-Cut Adhesive from Therm O Web, which is a thin adhesive sheet. Just pull off one backing and lay your cardstock down, replace that protective backing, and then cut off the excess. And that will put some adhesive, very thin layer on the back of the cardstock so that you can cut out a thin scripty die like this without any problems, and just peel off that back protective sheet and you have it with adhesive on it. So there's no need to work your way around those thin scripty letters. I laid this down on the VELLUM shadow and I felt like it was kind of getting lost. So I decided to do the same exact thing with white cardstock, and I just layered it right on top. I didn't try and pull anything off, just layered it right on top. That also gave it a little extra dimension, and you can see there's a couple of spots where the fuchsia is peeking out, and I'm okay with that. I think it looks really cute. Once that was done, I did decide to stamp "You Make My Heart" in a sub-sentiment with black ink on white cardstock, and I adhered that down with some ThermOWeb Memory Runner XL, and then I just added some Ultra Bond with the Ultra Bond pen right behind the pink cardstock behind the VELLUM. So I'm hiding that adhesive so you won't be able to see it, just right behind where those script letters are, and then adhered that down to this card, and I absolutely love that spotlight foil heart in the center of the card. For the other card, I decided to stamp Happy Birthday in black ink on white cardstock. This sentiment is from the Stamp Market's Stopping By to Say, and it has coordinating dies as well, so I'm going to cut these out. I didn't want tons of dimension, but I did want a little bit, so I cut the dies out of plain white cardstock, and I'm just using the Ultra Bond pen to adhere the stamped and die cut sentiment down to just the die cut backgrounds there. So it's just 2 layers of cardstock rather than lots and lots of dimension. It just stands out enough on that foiled spotlight heart. So I'm going to do the same thing with the happy, and then I do use the Ultra Bond pen to adhere these down to that foiled card front as well, because it just sticks really, really well, and then of course it dries clear, so if you get anything on the side you won't see it. And that completes this very easy but super cool technique that you could use with any shape dies that you have, whether it's circles, hearts, stars, even squares would look cool. It's just fun to have 2 different colors and a shape of the foiling. So if you're interested in any of the supplies that I used today, they'll all be linked down in the YouTube description box below the video. I want to thank you so much for stopping by. Have a wonderful day.